I'm still muted, but there we go. We're back. Howdy, hello, and greetings, everybody. Happy to see all y'all here. Couple of things before we get started. First and foremost, let me swap over to our lovely home base linked on here. So for those of you who are just coming in, you can check in at that lovely link posted right up below my face pretty much. I'm also going to go ahead and pop it into the chat and drop it in right here for anybody who's coming in. So you can go ahead and check in right there. And that actually takes us, I think, into our OSS resources as well. Make sure this link is in there already. And so far, let me go ahead and super duper quickly share my screen so you all can see some of the things that we've done so far. So first and foremost, howdy, welcome to our lovely Notion page here. These last few live streams, we've been working on Nudged. Oh, and let me turn the music back on because I have a tendency, especially when I get focused, to go super quiet. So we're going to turn the music on just so y'all don't have to sit and stare at me in silence in case things get a little prolonged. But yeah, so we've got our lovely, lovely, lovely music on in the back. We've got our background. We've got, let's pop our logo on too. Got our home base link, our check-in, and I think we're just about ready to get started. So let me spend a couple minutes going over some of the things we've done in the last few parts, not open up Xcode, not today, and kind of think about how we want to proceed for today. So for here, I'm going to take you to my lovely repository, which is Nudged, where we've got a bunch of different things that we can work on. And we've got our issues that we have set aside and some pull requests, as well as a general summary of my project, which is great. Let me go ahead and give you a few minutes. Alrighty, anyway, so let me go ahead and talk for just a little bit about what we've got. Yep, this looks good. I'm just checking on a couple things. We've got this lovely part, Global Hack Week here. And yeah, let's talk about a little bit of what we did. Yeah, we went over some of our repository changes, walked through our repo right here, and then generally go through, I think, some of the things that we want to fix up today. Okay, for what I'm thinking is I honestly am not the biggest fan of some of the work that we did yesterday. So I think I want to clean up some of these things. And from that, honestly, this may be a little bit of a chaotic solution, but I'm considering just trashing our client and our server files and starting over, which may sound insanely chaotic, but based on some of the struggles that we've had the last few days, I think might also be the good call. I'm gonna go ahead and do a git add all here, git commit -m restart client on server, and then we'll do a git push. And so now into main. All right, we've got our lovely project in here. We've got a couple good first issues for people to contribute, right? Our prerequisites, add our built with, and add a contributing.md file. But then we've also got our lovely project, right? Our automatic reminder system, project, built with started the roadmap and so on and so forth, which it's been a really fun couple days of setup, right? We've got issues, stars, forks, licenses, and all of the fun things from people that have been, working with us and helping us out as we build out the project, which is great. However, keeping that in mind, I think our main thing right now is just really trying to figure out how to best get set up on here, which is my main idea. So honestly, I'm gonna try something kind of funny. We're gonna try to brainstorm this with AI, which is what I did yesterday, but it did not go as well as I hoped. So let's start here. I would like to set up, and I'm gonna go ahead and we'll pop this up on here. Oh, yeah, no, that works fine. I wonder what's going on here. Anyway, we've got that, and then we've got, let me also check on this guy. Make sure everything looks good. Yeah, interesting. Who knows what's up? Anyway, you know what? Fair enough. Okay. Got more people slowly trickling in, which is good. Anyway, let me go ahead and work through here. I would like to set up a full stack web application MVP for a project I am working on as a part of a 2-hour live stream today. This project should include a MongoDB backend, since I have already set up a database on MongoDB Atlas to use for this project. The application is called Nudged, and it is meant to be an automatic missing assignment and grade calculator for students. For the initial MVP, the following tasks need to be possible. A user must be able to log in as either a teacher or a student. A teacher must be able to create classes, add students to their class, and remove students from their class. Then we'll do a teacher must be able to Student must be able to log in as a teacher. I think a teacher must be able to create classes, add students to their class, and remove students from their class. A teacher must be able to view a list of all of their students in a given class. Well, here's what I'm trying to figure out how to lay this out. And I don't know if a list of all of their students. And so a teacher must be able to create classes, add students to their class, and remove students from their class. A teacher must be able to view a list of all of their students in a given class and their overall class grade. Then next, a teacher must be able to insert in, okay, class must have, a class must include assignments. A teacher needs to be able to add, remove, and modify assignments from a class or in a class. A teacher needs to be able to add, remove, and modify a grade for an assignment. A grade for an assignment is associated with each student. And then last but certainly not least, a teacher must be able to view a list of students who are missing any assignment, grade of 0, or who have below a 70% as their overall class grade, which will capitalize class grade here. First, I need help planning out my MongoDB database and backend. All right, we'll start with this. We'll see how it goes. And we'll go from here. Cool. Let's plan for nudged. Key features: teacher login, class management, create, delete classes, add, remove students, student management, view overall grade, assignment management. Okay, per student, per assignment, alert, report for missing assignments or low grades. MongoDB is a NoSQL database. We'll design it to minimize unnecessary joins while keeping documents normalized enough for clarity and stability. Okay, so we've got a bunch of different files here, right? So users, ID, email, password, hash, and name. I don't want to have to handle password hashing here. So we'll see classes. Name, teacher ID, student ID, and assignment IDs. Yes, students, name, email, class IDs, assignments, title, class ID, max points and due date, and grades, student ID, assignment ID, and points received. Cool. Can I skip authentication for now? Instead, focus on how. Oh, I should probably remove the banner at this point. On how to add those. JSON files and backend routes you created into the project. When explaining how to do so, remember, consider I have not created a web app in about 5 years, which true story, by the way. Okay, skipping authentication. So prerequisite, let's make sure that we have Node.js and NPM installed and our Mongo database DB Atlas URI all ready. So let's go ahead and do that by shrinking this guy, maybe, hopefully. Which I don't know why it's giving me such a hard time to shrink a browser. Ah, that's why. Cool. So we're going to go ahead and shrink this guy a little bit. And so in our terminal, it's saying to go ahead and create our, so we'll make a directory called backend, assuming. And then we see our folder. Okay. Right, because it's got models, routes, and then our env, our index.js, and our package.json. Cool. So we've got backend. We go ahead and cd into the backend and then do npm. Okay. Now we're seeing npm. Let's check npm-v and node-v just to check. Perfect. We've got node and npm. We'll do npm init-y in here. So that creates, I believe, a package.json folder for us in here. Awesome. So we'll do our express mongoose.env and course installs. And it's going to take a second to do so, right? And this will create our package.json, right? Which I think has all of our dependencies and then all of our node modules. Now, what else we will need, I believe, is we'll need a new file. Call it a .gitignore. And in here, I want to pass in node underscore modules. So we're not pushing those up every time. And then let me also check what to include in a .gitignore is what to include in a .gitignore yeah, I'll do this as an example. Yeah, gitignore, git Linux temporary files, directory trash, macOS. Okay, node logs, runtime detail, node modules. Okay, build release, our .env file we should also not include. So we'll do our dependency directory in here. And then we will also do our .env environment variables file. Shout out to more open source code. Yay. Thanks, Swift Horseman. And then our package controls, sessions, temporary auto-generated tags. Cool. I think this is enough for now. I was just checking whether like package-log.js needed to be in here or something. Okay. And then they're saying to set up our folder structure. So we will need within here, in addition to these lovely guys, we'll need a folder called models, and then users, class, student, assignment, grade, which we'll call this teacher.js just in case for now. We want to end up changing it and creating, the ability for students to also be users, check their grades and things like that. I don't think we need it. And then routes are class routes, student routes, assignment routes, and grade routes. Our Mongoose model, right? And then let's go ahead and set up our folder structure in here. So we'll go ahead and do make directory models. Oh, wait. Yes, perfect. And we're in the backend, right? And then we want to cd to models. And how do I make a file? File with terminal out of curiosity. What command makes a new file in terminal or Linux? There are multiple options. Okay. I'm assuming I can just do touch. All right, it's touched. Users, not type in here. Let's check on these guys. Hello, lovely to see you. We'll do touch user.js. Okay, perfect. Then we'll do touch. This will just be faster. Class.js, touch student.js. I might change this actually from a user then to rename this guy to admin. Going forward, user should be called admin to clarify their role, and in the future, add a capability to log in a teacher, an admin, or a student. Okay, so we'll add this as a comment, and then we'll do touch assignment.js, and then touch grade.js. Cool. And then we will cd back out, go to routes, then cd routes, then touch class routes.js, touch student routes.js, touch assignment routes.js, and then we've got, of course, our env file, our index.js, and our package lock.json. So we'll cd out here. We'll do a touch index.js. Let me also make sure that we did not forget to install no daemon. Yeah, we did. So let's run that real quick. Perfect. And then finally, last but certainly not least, we got our package and package lock, index.js, git ignore our routes, and then we just need to cd back in to routes. And we need to touch grade routes. Perfect. Cool. Let's get our grade routes in here. And then I think what I want to do is go ahead and push up this right now because it's nice and clean. All that it has is, our required dependencies and our empty files. So we'll go ahead and commit this, say create backend structure. We'll commit, sync these changes up, and then we should be good to go. Amazing. We'll do a git pull, or cd out, git pull, and see what happens. Already up to date. Amazing. Perfect. So we got this guy in here, right? We got our backend, our models, node modules, so on and so forth. This should be renamed this guy, gradeouts.js. Perfect. So we'll need some fixes in here, which is totally fine. But from there, we'll need to configure our env and create our .env file. So for that, we're going to need our MongoDB Atlas. MongoDB Atlas. Perfect. And then we're going to go ahead and log in. So that will be sign in here. I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing my screen for a split second, just so I can log in here. And let's present this guy again. Share screen. Entire screen. Yes, perfect. Share. Amazing. And then we've got our cluster. And then we have our, wait, no, not edit configuration. No, just want to connect. So I want to access Atlas in here. Then MongoDB password for the for the database user. How do I see my password again, though? Might need to restart here. So we'll do project settings. Yeah, because it's delete the project, access manager, right? Because that's edit roles, project owner. Yep. Because I'm not gonna. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and restart with this setup step. And I just realized I'm not sharing my screen again. So we're gonna go ahead and restart here. And we'll delete our project. How do I terminate it? Okay. That's fine. We'll terminate the cluster. All right, we'll go ahead and call this. Perfect. Delete that. And then go into my project settings. Delete the project. And we'll start over from here. No, it doesn't. Ugh, whatever. It doesn't though. I just stopped the cluster. It's okay. So it has to take its sweet time to do that. In the meantime though, yeah, we have our .env file, or do we? Oh, we didn't make one. So let's do touch.env here. All right, and this will create a .env in the backend folder. And our .env will have our MongoDB underscore URI. In here, eventually will go our lovely MongoDB URI. And then we will create our Mongoose models, which because suppose we're starting with our class. So we'll do const mongoose, acquire mongoose. Can you provide, let's do provide the model files, then go ahead and help by adding a new index or a route, and tell me how to test for the class model you created. Can you also create a route and then show me how to test it in terminal? Great, sweet. So we've got our project doing that, and then we're going to go ahead and project settings here. We'll delete this guy, and when we're ready to return to Mongo, we'll be ready to return to Mongo, which is great. Hooray! Sweet. So then we've got our, just to clarify, do you plan to use JavaScript or TypeScript for the backend? Do you have a project? Is it project? I would like to use TypeScript if possible. I ran npm init earlier, yes. And Mongoose is great. All right, sweet. Okay, perfect. So it's doing its thing. I have a feeling we're going to want to make these routes into TypeScript. So let's rename these. TypeScript MongoDB. Yeah, okay, so I can just make these TypeScript files. We're going to go ahead and rename a bunch of these. TS, name TS, admin, rename TS, assignment, rename TS, and then class, rename TS. Here, well, the AI is really doing some thinking. That's.ts, we're going to also delete this. And then we'll do rename here, grade.ts, and finally student. .ts, not ys.ts, perfect. We've got our .env, our gitignore, our index, our package lock, and we're going to go ahead and push up in here, swap from JS to TypeScript, and then commit, and then sync these changes up. And I think in the meantime, while our AI is doing a think, we can go ahead and begin setting up our MongoDB project. So we're going to go ahead and create our nudged test, or we'll do nudged in here. And then we're going to go ahead and make me a project owner, which is lovely. And then we've got our database and our cluster. And I would like to call my cluster here test. And sure, we'll make it AWS, US East 1. No, all of this is fine. I want the free tier, please and thank you. We'll go ahead and create our deployment. Let's make some traffic lights, pick some traffic lights and verify. And then I will need the database user and password. Let's create the database user. I'm going to go ahead and paste these guys into here. So we'll do user is equal to, my first name and last name, and my password. We'll go ahead and store just in here, just in case. So we'll call this the test Atlas user, and then the test Atlas password. All right, and then choose a connection method. We're going to use the drivers. We'll need this and view the code sample, obviously. Perfect. We're going to go ahead and copy this guy in here. And we'll keep our MongoDB URI right in there. Sweet. So we've got our env file, right, which obviously changes do not push up. And then we'll view the full code sample down here in a second. Okay, perfect. So setting up a class model and routes. Let's create a simple TypeScript. Organize your files in an SRC folder. Well, too late for that. But package.json. And then we may need so it looks like we have a server. So we have a route, right? Class routes.js, a models class.ts. And then we will also need out here package.json, which I already have. And then finally, last but certainly not least, looks like a new file called tsconfig.json, which works for me. So this is a TypeScript file. Each folder contains models. We'll have Mongo schemas, and this is our backend folder right here. and then open a terminal and then npm install mongoose. Okay, so I'm gonna maybe go ahead and delete my node modules, my package.lock.json for now, and my package.json, and go ahead and cd out into the backend and run npm install express mongoose, right? That should create a new package.lock.json and package.lock file like that. And then it should also run all of these. Which express mongoose. Okay. This is a bunch of other stuff. All right, and then in rtsconfig.json, we are going to include this guy and paste it in here. And then our class model, go ahead and go back out into, now why are you throwing a fit? What's wrong? We'll do backend. Because it's src. Okay. Let's see what Copilot can come up with. I need to update my include path. Okay. What does that do? Why are we including? Okay, well, that I guess fixed the error. Okay, and then in models and in class, we've got our schema and document from Mongoose, and then we're going to export an interface. A name, an admin ID, a student ID, and an assignment ID. Student IDs and assignment IDs. Cool, this makes sense. All right, and then we're going to create a Mongoose schema, right, called new schema here, in which we'll have all of these guys. And then perfect, and then compile the schema into a model. Sweet. Doable. And then our class route. Okay, so then we will go into an express router for class-related routes. Using a router module helps keep code organized. Here's a simple post route to create a new class. Cool. Import express from express here. And then we'll need our const router, which is express router. Then we'll need a router post, right, which is a post request. And this is the, so this is name and the admin ID. And then create a new class document, save to MongoDB. And then this sets up a post handler on classes. It reads name and admin ID from the JSON body, creates a new class, and saves it. On success, it returns the new class document. And then by default, we need the server file to connect everything. So we'll do a new file called server.ts, right? And then in here, add in express mongoose and class routes, then create my port. I want to use 3001 instead of 3000 because I am on a Mac. And then middleware to parse JSON bodies, sure. And then connect to MongoDB. So actually for this, I want to, I think, go back through our potentially old, these are just removing redundant dependencies, adding npm run dev settings. That's not helpful. Bugfix for R, db.js, yes. So then what I want to do is I also want to import .env from .env. I don't know whether we actually installed .env though, because we might have not. So let's run super quick an npm install .env here. Cool. Add some stuff. Perfect. Then that will, I think, then go ahead and add in our MongoDB URI, which is process.env.mongodb URI, right? Which is right here. And then go back out. These are in the same folder, so that should make sense. And then in here, let's go back down here. So next we want to go through and try mongoose.connect MongoDB URI, use URL parser, use unified topology, and then log console MongoDB, catch a MongoDB connection error. So we should be good there. Go ahead and fix some of this indentation so it's more to my liking. But we should also probably get a TypeScript formatter. Now, why are you complaining? So, var MongoDB URI, which is of type string. So how add a type in TypeScript? Let me see. To a variable. I've never actually properly used variables for TypeScript. Which is of type string, right? That's all you do? String or undefined. Okay, so I think what I need to do is unwrap this string. Unwrap the string TypeScript. Okay, and then we'll do if throw new error. Okay, fair enough. All right, cool. So we're gonna go ahead and do this, right? And then, so then we'll throw a new error, right? And then we can try to add the class routes and then start the app. Okay, and then running the app locally. Add a script in package.json to run with dev. Okay. Like that. Okay, could I get like a linter or something for linter for TypeScript VS Code, please. Okay. All right, we'll do in here, let's do ESLint. Install this guy. Perfect. Now I have an actual linter. Okay, cool. All right, then what I want to do is run my project. So I should be just able to run npm run dev, which throws an error at module not found. Okay. Oh, server.ts. What? Oh. Okay, and then we want this to be backend, not server. Let's try it now. npm run. Oh. Cannot find backend / server.t. Oh, I wonder if it's like. I'm gonna try it now. Still no? Okay, cool. So if I run it in backend, error, please define the MongoDB URI variable. I did. So MongoDB URI, all right, where we have, I'm gonna go ahead and delete these two, all right? Because we have the password in here. Let's try to exit out and try that again. It is defined though. Ugh. This is gonna be annoying already. Okay, I want to first console.log then MongoDB URI. Which is gonna log nothing, right? Undefined. But why is it doing this again? Or is it like the .env lives in the parent directory or something? Because I remember struggling with this last time, right? Was expecting Okay. A few things. Number one, instead of, here's what I see, I have named my folder backend. Remember that information going forward. Number two, I have attempted to put my MongoDB URI into a .env file, and I am getting the error thrown when I run npm run dev. Here is my code. All right, then we've got then we'll say my env file is in the same level or same directory as server.ts where this code is located. That's it. All right, cool. I'll let her think for a sec. Thanks for the details. Where things load env variables, npm.install.env. I already did that part. Control C, import. Oh, did I forget .env.config? Oops. That'll do it. Let's do .env.config here. I don't want that imported. I want that. .env.config, right? Then common support. Then I'm going to go to URI, right? Import express. That should go .env express mongoose, right? Then class routes. Then app, then port. Let's try to run it now. Server is running on port 3001, connected to MongoDB. Great, amazing. Cool. So now testing with curl. I want to run this command. Failed. Oh, I should run the dev, right? Run dev. And then while the command is running, oh, it's because it's 3001, not 3000. My apologies. Okay, boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. 3001. Cool, press enter. Okay. Error, cannot post classes. Let's go ahead and say, so I'm assuming now if I check my project, right, and I go into my clusters and I go into cluster test, right, then I have, you know, my real time or my metrics or my collections or whatever, right? And we've got test classes, and classes is empty, so I want to delete this. Pull sample underscore mflix. I'm gonna go ahead and take a super quick 30-second break because I turned my AC on because it's super cold in my apartment and it is freezing. So I'm gonna be right back. I am back. Hello again. So I got this error. We're going to go ahead and paste that in. Okay. I did change it to 3001, I'm pretty sure. Okay. This is the curl used local port 3001, so that is not the error. Right? Yeah. Okay. And backend server.ts. Oh, it's API. Oh. Well, that's super cool, I guess. And then, yeah, well, this is import class routes from routes, class routes. App use /API /classes. Oh, well, this seems like your mistake. So I need to do, I'm going to try instead localhost 3001. And it needs to be /API /classes. And then from there, I can add in all of this. Now I think it'll do it. Perfect. Okay. And now if I go into my test data and I refresh, did it work? Yes. Okay, perfect. So we got it working. I'm gonna go ahead and keep this guy on here. So this is already so much better than we got last time. And so we got our package lock, right? Because this had a bunch of other stuff in it. Our server TypeScript, our tsconfig, and our class routes. And this will be our initial test route for class. Adding a class, commit, sync changes, and do that. Perfect. So for up next, what I think I want to do is I'm going to go ahead and refresh here. Perfect. I used, the fix was that used /API /classes, right? Based on your suggestion in the code earlier. So I needed to also do that in the curl command. All right, sweet. Okay. Perfect. Yeah, so this is the class route working tree. That's literally fine. I don't know why it's causing all of this stuff. So this is class.ts, class routes, server, tsconfig git ignore. All right, got our package, got our server file. And then our .env, of course. My apologies. Let's think about what we want to build out next. I think I think what I want to do is, give me a second here. Do some stuff. Remove the spam. Perfect. We'll do that. And then next, let's think about, am I tired or hungry? A little bit, but you know, I'm gonna eat right after this. So I've got time to get some more stuff done, I think. Might take a quick bathroom break. But for now, trying to think about what I want to make. I would like to set up, would like to set up an admin user for myself that I can use to test the application, specifically add the admin model and route, so that new admins are eventually created when a user logs in for the first time. Okay, cool. I set up the admin road. Since you'll support a login, we'll set up with minimal fields for now, but keep it extendable later. Example, email or password or off. Perfect. That's exactly what I want. Sweet. So we'll do admin TypeScript here. We'll do, okay, well, I'm out of my free limit, which is fine. So we'll do the admin mongoose model. So back in models, admin.ts, perfect. Export as iAdmin, extends document with a name, and which is a string. I think a username, which is a string, and then an email, which is also a string. I don't want to deal with password. We will add a comment about extending an authentication token here. Then in here, we will do a const admin schema, in which name will be of type string, and required will be true, indeed. And username will be required and unique, and email will be required and unique. And then apparently we'll extend an authentication token eventually. We'll do boop, 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 and then const admin. Let's check that class. Yeah, so it should be called admin model. Admin model. It will be equal to mongoose.model iAdmin, admin schema, and export the admin model. Perfect. So then we will need our admin routes. I would like to add in authentication now using OAuth. Okay, yeah, because I would like to do that now, I'm pretty sure. So, Okay, this is some other crazy stuff. So we will need actually, this may be too complicated right now. But I have a way to create a new admin. So how can I make a new admin using my model and route the first time a new user authenticates with Passport? Cool. As this makes sense to me, I would like to then see what it's doing. So you already have this logic. Okay, nice. Okay, got it. Okay, so already have it. User visits auth Google. Google asks for permission to authenticate. After consent, Google redirects to Google callback. Passport runs, looks up admin by email. If not found, creates a new admin in your DB. Passport serializes the user into the session. Okay. Cool. That makes sense. Nice. So in this case, so do I then need the admin route? So I need an admin model, yes. Yes, I do need the admin route because I need it for admin routes.ts here, right? Then we'll do this. Yes, that's what we're working on. Okay, then in here, we will need for server.typescript, we'll need to import admin routes from that. And then last but certainly not least, we'll also need to use the admin routes right here. And then, of course, now I can, rerun this guy. We should get everything looking good. If I try to run I'm going to copy, paste in here. Server error creating admin. Interesting. So where did I get that from? Error. Server error creating admin. Interesting. But why? Running returned. Okay, I actually do really need a bathroom break. So I think I'm going to go ahead and come right back and we will go into the stuff right after. BRB. Alrighty, I'm back. I mean, I don't think I have Alice at exampleteacher.com, but let me check. Mongo Atlas. Yeah, because I literally don't have any admins. So what do I have to do with admin versus admins? Admin routes, admin, server TS, no, it's admins, okay. Oh, shush. No. Don't want your likely, just what I'm getting. Read that over, bud. Also, I hate when I keep the quick break interrupt. Likely doing something like this. Export default. No, all I'm exporting is the router. The fix export. This is literally what I have. But thank you. Okay. Then in server ES or admin routes, sure. That's literally the same thing. I hate the emojis. Sorry. Why? No. So they're just making up stuff at this point, frankly. Ugh. Mm-hmm. This is why. See, this is why you can't trust any of these. So then you just want res.status, not return. Right? Res.status. Yeah. Like that, right? I mean, I could return after the fact, right? But instead, yeah. That's what's caused that. Nothing more insanely dramatic or anything. Now it's connected to MongoDB fine. I can run the curl command. I am running an admin schema that includes a username. That is why that's not working. That is really cool. If I delete username from here, I'm pretty sure I can just restart, connect to MongoDB, rerun this, and I will get an admin. This is why we read things. Name and email. Perfect. Sweet. Amazing. Right, let's go back up and then try to implement, because now we have the actual curl test with the admin route, and then we can install the required dependencies. So in here, I am in Nudge now. I can cd into my backend here and then install. I'm going to also stop running the server and actually close out of this guy. Then run all of these installs. I already have .env, thank you though. So run these guys. And then let's actually really quickly do a working admin route and start of OAuth. We'll do that. Commit, sync changes. And then I want to do the, what I do want to do at some point today is figure out how to do nudged in here. I want to do the whatchamacallit, the little technology circles from the README GitHub template, which I think I had in here. Right, it was the best README template. And then shields. Right, because if we press edit, it just goes to next URL, image.shields.io. Yeah, so we'll need those shields, and we'll use shields.io. Here later, badges, static badge. We could do like I mean, we're doing a node badge, right? Wait, let me go back. Because it's just then you have right next JS. My apologies. Yeah, and then you have obviously the bootstrap. Okay, so that's how you make the images, which is fine. We'll worry about that later. But For now, we've installed the dependencies. I need to go to the Google Developer Console. Let's open that up. And we'll create OAuth, shall we? Okay, I need to create a new project. Call it Nudged. And then for my organization, I'll just stick it in no organization, my favorite organization. Perfect. And then go to APIs and services, credentials, create credentials, right? Where is that? Yes. Our client ID. Okay, consent screen, get started. Nudged. And then for my user support emails, we'll do me, audience. We'll do internal for now. Oh, fine. Contact information, myself. Finish, continue, create. Amazing. Then I need to create an OAuth client. Application type will be web application. Name will be for now, nudged test, authorized JavaScript origins, and then the authorized redirect URIs. Go right in here. Perfect. And then I will need to do that. I have a client ID and a client secret, which we will stick in my .env file. So in .env, we will need a Google client ID, a Google client secret, and a session secret. Cool. So we will do that in here. We'll do Google underscore client underscore ID, and we will replace that with this guy. Then we will do below that my Google. We'll do Google client secret, right? Yes, yes. Cool. Google. That's not my secret, but I'm glad that it thinks it is. Cool. And then session secret is some random session secret. I don't think I need that though. I'm gonna click OK here. I got my nudge test client ID. Perfect. And then I need to go ahead and continue in here with passport setup. So we're gonna go ahead and shrink this guy a bit so we can keep these concurrent. And then let's do in server.ts. We will need some stuff. So passport, those elemental P. So import passport from passport, please, and then import.env. Import session from express session, please. Now, why are you giving me a hard time? Did I not run the this guy? I guess it's just declare bits value never read, and then import admin and class rat .config port MongoDB URI. Perfect. Then yes, express JSON, and then we will use our secret here now. So we will do, I guess, let's go into env, and then we will do elemental PQRS. So we will do in here session underscore secret, and do in here just nothing to start. Then use passport mongoose connect, app use API classes, API admins at OAuth, which happens at up here at .get. Good. And then app.get dashboard. We will need a new file called passport setup .ts. There we go. And then copy this guy in there, passport. Okay, apparently I need to export the file passport. Okay, well, you really hate this. Okay, perfect. And now passport setup TS. File.emails. Let's fix this up. Set that undefined instead of null. Okay. So instead of admin.id, it just needs to be admin.email, right? Or is it just ID with like that? We're trying out lots of these fun error debugging. This is getting better than I expected, honestly. Yeah, extend. What? Can I not just, in my admin model, like, declare an ID? Will that then fix this? That's it. That's all. No. I am using serialize and deserialize though. Okay. Name, email, admin model. Yes, already did this. Okay, great. Augment. Why is it types? Why is this a thing though? Types express. Index.dts? What? Ugh, I don't understand this. Types. And then we'll go new folder, express, and then we'll go inside the new folder and do index.d.ts. And then do that, I guess. I don't know. Import admin document from models. Admin? It's not, it's admin model, right? I'm assuming. Extend admin model here. Models. Is that not the same thing? It doesn't mean my admin schema. Those are different, remember? Or is it iAdmin? Or whatever that. Ew. Trying to copy my error. Ah. Okay, I was starting to get a little hungry and tired and cranky. That's okay. We'll do this. That's what I want help with. Saying modify my admin schema. What is this? Ugh. You're adding more errors, dude. So I have no return undefined, right? Perfect. And then admin TS here. Actual insanity, but sure. That literally doesn't work. This. What does it want? Okay, sure. It literally didn't though. Copilot helped. Anyway, how can I test this? Let's see. What will you come up with? Okay, start my server. My server's been started this whole time. Then test my admin model with virtual ID. Or can I like log in? Or can I just go to, you know, what route is it, right? Like server.ts. I can go to off.google, right? Because then I can go to localhost 3001 auth Google, right? Mm-hmm. 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 Yeah, literally fine. Still no. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and push this guy up. I do not, unfortunately, have the time to fix it. So I don't think I do. Or maybe not necessarily push up, right? Because this just has all the config for the passport setup, right? Just for the authentication. So I think I'm going to check out a new branch, actually. That's what I'll do. So we'll CD back out. We'll do good checkout dash B off feature slash auth. Get checkout, sorry, dash B feature / auth. Then get commit dash M part for auth attempt. Get at all. Then get commit dash M or get push will give me the error. Get push will give me the error. Run, perfect. Now we're on a new branch. We'll go ahead and check on this. I think we'll leave that as is. And I think this will probably be the end of this series, just because as much as I would love to stay on, I do have to run in just a few short minutes. But generally, I want to make sure that we do a couple of things since it's our last stream, and for the first one in a while. And we've got another one. We've got Paper of the Month stream in 11 minutes with Abdullah. So I want to make sure that he has enough time to get started and everything that he needs. So we're going to end it now. A couple of things I want to do is I'm pretty sure there's a feedback link. Just link, GHW feedback. Perfect. Yes. So first and foremost, if you enjoyed this stream, please go ahead and give it some love at mlh.link/GW feedback. Shout out part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4, which is awesome. And then if you've got, a little bit of time to spare, go ahead and join Abdullah from, well, I guess 7 to 9 p.m. today with just a few short minutes where he's going to be doing his Paper of the Month series coming back. Probably going to be talking a little bit about open source stuff, which will be really fun. I think you'd really enjoy it. And then we've got a double Alberta feature of contributing to his favorite open source projects, part 1 and 2, and a nice little Tetris mini event to round out this week. But it's been really fun. Thanks those of y'all who stuck around for a little bit or longer bit. It was fun to hang out with y'all. Super happy to be back at Global Hack Weeks, and I'm excited to see you all in the next one in June, which is AI themed. But anyway, thanks y'all so much for coming. It was a blast. And I will see you all next month. Alrighty, I think I'm gonna pop out. Bye everybody.